Being said, guys, good morning to everybody at Stack Trading, and good morning to everybody on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you know what you need to do. Smash that like button and that subscribe button. Come on. You've been watching our videos. It's time to subscribe. So, with that being said, let's just get started. I'm just trying to joke around here, get a little lighthearted. So, lots of opportunities. This morning, I personally have had trouble trying to pick my top 6 stocks to watch on my A list. I have about 20 different stocks, literally, that I'm watching and that I'm going to be flipping throughout the day. But I've got my A list down to my favorite 6. So here we go. Walmart. I think today, for me personally, I'm going to be following a lot of mega cap stocks. Walmart reported earnings. It was mixed, but then they threw in that monkey wrench that they're increasing wages $15 an hour. I personally think it's a good thing for the economy, but for a business perspective and for a stock, that's not good because you're increasing wages, which affects the bottom line, and you're seeing Walmart get punished today. So the market is also selling off, right? You had bad economic news. The jobs market is not doing well. So with that being said, a lot of the stocks that we're watching are gapping down, and especially the S&P 500, which just broke the daily 8 of May. So let's see if it even holds 390. If it fails 390, the S&P is in trouble. When it comes to Walmart, here's what I see. If it breaks above 139.72 and attempts to do a recovery, you can go in long, put your stops at pre-market low right here at about 390. If it fails 390, 139, I don't know why I was saying 390. 139, if it fails 139, I think the next level that Walmart's going to come to test is the 200-day moving average on the daily, which is sitting at 137, right? Let me just double check that really quick. 200 MA, yep, it's at about 137. It's very close, very close. If the market decides to really sell off today, you will see Walmart test 137. So I'm going to go and look for a short position if Walmart fails this pre-market low, and probably put my stops at 139.70. So keeping it real tight, $1 risk, but if it wants to reclaim, I will look to go long if it reclaims 139.70. First target 140.80. And after that, second target could be like 142 around there. So that's my Walmart idea. Another name that I really like, Twilio. Twilio reported earnings yesterday. Monster move. Look at it. Closed yesterday at 411.65. Ripped to almost 475. Right now it's trading at 448. But what I like about Twilio is the following. The market is weak. It's still holding its gap up. And look at the upgrades and downgrades on this stock. You have tier 1 firms saying 540, 475, 550, 550, 550. You get the point. So if Twilio holds, I want to see it reclaim, I would say about 452. If it can reclaim 452, I would like to go long. First target, 455. Second target, 460. If it breaks above 460, we can easily probably go to 475. This is all-time highs on the stock, so we could see a gap and go strategy when it comes to Twilio. Keep in mind though, the market is selling off. I'm looking at the NASDAQ right now, pre-market lows. S&P 500 just failed that prior pre-market low, is bear flagging right now. So if the market is too heavy, Twilio can come down from, just purely from profit taking on that massive gap up. If that occurs, I will look to short Twilio if it fails the 446 area. Put my stops really tight at like 449. It's a $3 risk. Potential downside, maybe we can see 430 or 428, 63 right now, where it's the 200 MA on the 5-minute time frame. So all in all, I just like Twilio. I think there's going to be a lot of good opportunity here. You could trade it with options or with shares. My preferred method is shares. Mara and Riot. I'm going to keep a close eye on them. So right now, Bitcoin is only 900 points away from its all-time highs, yet you have a divergence with Mara, Riot, and all these stocks that trade based on the cryptocurrency. I'm going to keep a very close eye on these. I like Mara because I can Merrill Edge allows me to short it with equity. So if it breaks above 44.77, go long, put your stops at 44. You're risking 77 cents. If it fails the 43 area, we can go for a short. First target is going to be pre-market lows, 41.50. All right, that's my Mara idea. Baidu. Man, I was praying that Baidu would hold up here. It was like flagging down here on a bear flag. And once it broke that 303, look at it, pulled 10 points. Just to give some perspective, every 100 shares on that short is $1,000 profit. Had I been able to catch that during market hours. Unfortunately, Merrill Edge doesn't allow me to short and pre-market, so I just literally had to just stare at it. So it was a little frustrating for me, considering that I couldn't take the short and pre-market, which is why I'm considering to open up another broker that will allow me to short and pre-market. But nonetheless, that's another topic. But Baidu is extremely weak, selling off. What's interesting is look at the action, right? Reported earnings traded to as high as almost 322. Now it's trading 30 points below from that after hours high yesterday afternoon. The volatility here is incredible. On a daily perspective, here's what I see. It broke the daily 8MA. If it continues to sell off, my target is 284, 285. Why? That's the 13MA on the daily chart for Baidu. If it fails that, you could see it test the 20MA, which is sitting at 271. I highly doubt we'll see the 20MA get tested. I think it's more realistic to expect the stock to test the 13MA, but I could be wrong. This market is kind of nutty. So let's just trade the chart. If we see Baidu try to reclaim the 8MA, which is like 296 area, we could go for an attempt on an aggressive bounce on a counter trend trade. But I'm not going to take that approach today. I'm going to go in for the easy money today. I'm not going to try to, do counter trend trades and get a little aggressive. So I'm going to keep an eye on Baidu. I like the volatility, and I think it can make some good money for us today. So I've mentioned PLTR. Oh no, did I mention PLTR already? I didn't. Okay, PLTR. I really like this. So I actually already made some money this morning scalping PLTR right here in this area that I'm highlighting. It traded really nicely. Some good volume came in here at 8 o'clock, but then it gave it all away. Today's the lockup expiration, which means 80% of the shares outstanding are opening up and they can trade today. You have George Soros, a multi-billionaire, unloading his investment on PLTR today. There's going to be a lot of volatility on it. Look at this tight consolidation it's just created right here. So I like this a lot. If you see PLTR rip past 25.30, you can go long, put your stops at 25. That's a 30-cent risk on the trade. If it breaks 25, short, short, short. All right, so I'm really hoping that it can hold here for the next 15 minutes before the market opens. PLTR is going to be fun today. I'm really excited to trade this one. This is on my A list. The last one I'm going to bring up is a biotech stock, IMNM. I've never traded it before, but it's really interesting, right? They got some good news that came about. Let me see here. Where is it? Okay, it discovers antibodies capable of neutralizing multiple SARS variants. You guys, if you've been following the news, there are a lot of different variants of COVID-19, and these guys are claiming that they've discovered antibodies that are capable of neutralizing multiple variants. Look at what happened. The stock popped 70 points in pre-market. Then I took a look, and the shares outstanding are like nothing. I think, let me see here. Let me pull it up again. I don't have it in front of me. IMNM. The shares outstanding here are, I know it's a super small float, 10.5 million shares. That's nothing. It's a little dangerous though, because if you want to take this trade at the way that I see it right now, I would need it to break above 75, 76, go long, but you'd have to put your stops at like $67. So you're looking at, you know, a 9-point risk on the trade. For every 100 shares you take, that's $900 risk. Unfortunately, options are not available for this stock. So for our options traders, this is not an option for you. But if you want to trade it with equity, hey, you can dabble into it. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. And there are some other ones that I'm keeping an eye on, like Kappa, CAPA. It's a SPAC that just announced an agreement with a merger, so it's gapping up. I would like to see it break above, you know, 1650 area before, you know, I decide to go long on it. Test the pre-market highs, and then there's another stock called Quick, QUIK. Closed yesterday at $7, popped up all the way to $20, and now it's trading at $11. That's kind of nutty action if you ask me, but you know, it's got some volatility in it, so I'm gonna keep an eye on it. And there are some other names like CCIV, Futu, Sleep Number Bed, EH, and GM. Did you guys see that price target upgrade on GM? $95, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. Was it 95 or 75? Let me double check. GM, where you at? 85. Okay, I was you know, $10 difference on the both upside and downside. $85 from who? Citigroup. Citigroup is a hell of an analyst, so I like them. So I took too much time. Taj, up to you, brother. What's your watch list?
Yeah, so I just have a few more names that I'll be adding to the list. One is actually this stock called GTEC, GTEC. Unfortunately, there are no options available for this stock, but it is on fire today, and it is actually one of the most heavily traded stocks today. Every single candlestick is like 500,000 plus in volume.
Which stock? Which stock is that?
GTEC.
Okay.
GTEC. So it's called Greenland, and they are in the business of electric vehicles for industrial vehicles and drivetrain systems. And they just secured a deal for U.S. production of electric industrial vehicles. So this is huge for this stock.
Yeah.
You can only, like I said, you can only trade it with shares, but it's had a huge move up. I think it's currently up about 215%. And you're getting a nice bull flag starting to form here. So the way I see it, you can trade it. Look to go long around 25.50. Throw stops around. I mean, you have to give it some range, 21.50. But if you can break out of that high, that 27.30, this thing can run. It's getting a lot of attention. This is a huge deal that they were able to secure, and you know, there's really no telling where this can go, because now you're opening a company's exposure to the biggest capital market in the entire world, right? Especially with an office now that is very pro EVs. This is something that can be huge for the industry as a whole, right? Specifically for this company. So definitely keep an eye on GTEC, not just for today, but even for next week. I'm sure they'll have options contracts available next week if this volatility continues. So definitely keep an eye on that. Another name that I like is the overall market, the S&P 500, as well as the Qs in the spot, or the Russell. And the reason is because we are starting to kind of form a direction, it feels like. The market seems very heavy today. It's gapping directly down to yesterday's lows.
Yep.
So if the SPYs can really start breaking below that 389 level, I think it's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
Right? Because if you look on the daily chart, we are sitting right at the 8 of May. The SPYs bounced right off of the 8 of May yesterday. So if it's able to give out that support, you can see the SPYs come down and test that 384.70 level. So the way I see it with the SPYs, if it breaks down below 389, you can try it for a short. Their stops around 389.60, and from there, I mean, there's really no support until around 387.50.
Yep.
So you're looking at about a 1-to-1 off that long. And if it starts breaking down below that, I think we're going to test the 20 of May on the day if it starts getting very, very heavy.
385. Yep.
With that being said, one of my favorite stocks to watch today is going to be Apple. Apple, yesterday we identified the key level at 130.20. We briefly dipped below it and went down to 129.47 before it found some support, and it closed around 130.84. So it closed above that support level we identified. But look what happened today. Apple is gapping down 2 points already. It's gapping down below yesterday's low. So now we're starting to really see some weakness in Apple. Just a month ago, Apple was trading at 145. Now we're back down to 128. So if you're looking on the daily chart, there's really no support on Apple until around 126.50. So if Apple starts breaking below 128.50, you can look for a short 30 stops around 128.70, 128.80. You're looking at a 20 to 30 cent risk on this play, with the potential of it coming down $1, maybe even $2 from that standpoint. Again, if the market starts really showing some weakness, this is going to be a prime opportunity to really capture some momentum on Apple. For me, I'm going to be very quick to take profit today, very quick to go break even on a lot of these plays, just so you can protect yourself in case we are in a choppy environment. We have had a big move with not only Apple, but also the SPYs and a lot of these other names during the pre-market hours. So you have to take that in consideration as well, right? Just because we had a big move doesn't mean there's going to be an even bigger move following that, right? With that being said, another name that I would just be keeping a quick eye on is AMC. We just recently had a volume spike here. It's doing like 1 million plus shares every single candlestick on the 5-minute chart. And I believe there was just some things going on, again, with social media. Again, I see SEC considers requiring more transparency.
Yeah.
I can't speak. From short sellers, after the GameStop thing. So I think, whenever stocks like GameStop or AMC start getting a pop, just keep an eye on it. There's potential that there'll be some type of setup there. I'm not saying GameStop's going to shoot back up to $10 or anything, right? But the ability, the opportunity to capture a small movement with AMC. So as of now, I would like to see AMC test back above 650, 660 in order to get really excited about it. However, if it does, definitely look for an opportunity with it. Another name I'll be watching is Tilray. Tilray reported earnings. I think they actually beat their earnings, and it looked really, really well during the after hour. Traded up to nearly $37 before it just participated with the rest of the market and started to sell off. We're currently up only $1 now from the earnings report. So the way I see it, if Tilray continues to show weakness, you can look for short around 31.60, 30 stops around 32.60. So you're looking at about $1 risk. However, if it starts showing some strength, you can look for a long around 33.20, 33.25. 30 stops around 32.50. So it really just depends on which direction Tilray wants to go. It's a little mixed right now because you did have that initial pop after they reported their earnings, and it looked great. But then, like I said, it traded right back down. Pretty much yesterday's closing price, and now it's only gapping up $1. You have to take that in consideration as well when we're looking at this potential play. But I mean, other than that, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too many names. Pick a small amount of names that we mentioned, 2, 3, maybe 4 names that we mentioned. Throw those on your watch list, throw them on the charts that you'll be watching, and just identify those levels. If you see an opportunity that you like, with feedback, call it out, and let's make some money off of it. Let's take our profits quickly today. I'm personally scalping on the day until I see the market really start to make the movement I want to see. And let's get some green on the board.
Exactly right. So with that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in on YouTube, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.